Hello, good evening to you. Welcome to the business news here on News 360. My name is Alfred Akanse. Let's go on to our first story this evening. And energy policy think tank, the Africa Center for Energy Policy, is worried Ghana might not get a good deal as the country seeks private sector participation to turn around the fortunes of the electricity company of Ghana, ECG. 62 companies have already expressed interest in taking over the distribution of power under the Millennium Development Authority concession agreement.
ASEP is of the view the huge debts in ECG books will make Ghana weak during negotiations for third-party participation. As at October last year, government owed 56% of all ECG debts, and as part of conditions under the MCC Compact 2, the country must pay its debts before the $498 million MCC fund is released in full. ASEP says government must be transparent in settling its debts to the ECG, despite reports it has already paid 180 million cedis of its debts.
Everybody thinks ECG owes everybody. ECG is inefficient. So when people are coming, they have, we're having so many companies bidding. The expectation may not be that much. But let's just say that the government had paid what it owed ECG. ECG had paid VRA, and the balance sheet is a little okay. Ghana would have been in a better negotiation position.
ASEP wants Ghanaian companies which have expressed interest in taking over the management of ECG to form a consortium to place them in a better position. The companies expected to submit their interests by May 3 include those from Ghana, South Africa, United States of America, Israel, Turkey, among others.
The process will be transparent because we are going for competitive bidding process, which means that there will be pre-specified requirements we are looking for. And I think even whichever company is selected, the reason for the selection will be published. That one we were told some time ago. What I would advise is that most of the Ghanaian companies should try to form a consortium.
The selected company or a consortium to manage ECG under the MEDA concession agreement will be expected to operate and invest in the ECG for the next 25 years.
The performance of the Ghana Stock Exchange in the first quarter of this year dipped compared to that of the same period last year. The business desk brings you the year-on-year analysis of the period.
In the first quarter of last year, 88.6 million volume of shares were traded on the exchange, but this volume dipped by 58% in the first quarter of this year, with 36.9 million shares being traded. The value of traded shares also went down by 21%, with the first quarter of last year recording 64.5 million cedis worth of shares trading, whereas this year's quarter recorded 51.3 million cedis value of traded shares.
Around this time last year, the market was down by 1.8. As we speak, we are down by 4.16%.
Market capitalization at the end of the first quarter of last year stood at 63.7 billion cedis, whereas at the end of the first quarter of this year, market capitalization stood at 54.7 billion cedis, representing a decrease of 14%.
We believe that there can still be a turnaround for this year. Usually, our market does a positive returns, let me say, to investors every election year, except for the first election year of the Fourth Republic. So, likely that can happen. There can be a turnaround if the things in the economy tends to turn out right, let me say.
Some power generation, we're getting some details where we're going to issues related still with energy, where Vivo Energy Ghana, a Shell licensee, has awarded 41 retailers and supporting staff. The award ceremony seeks to recognize the achievement of the transporter companies whose services Vivo Energy Ghana employs.
Shell has been operating in Ghana since 1928 with fuel storage capacity of 11,000 metric cubes. It remains the supplier of choice to the country's retail and commercial markets, offering superior fuels and lubricants. The award ceremony saw 41 of its 173 stations from 8 zones receiving various awards from different categories. Managing Director of Vivo Energy Ghana, Ebenezer Faulkner, expressed satisfaction at the successes the company has chalked over the years, especially in 2015. He said the retail network base has been expanded to boost the operations of the company.
There is a huge focus on operational efficiency and site operational standards for our quality marshals and focused staff. We will be rolling out a full-year comprehensive training and coaching program to equip our quality marshals to deliver a high-end experience to our valued customers.
He, however, advised retailers to continue to offer good services to customers and prioritize safety. The retail manager of Vivo Ghana, Kwame Aka, said Vivo stands tall in packaging.
The customers is always at the center of everything that we do. So as long as our people are aware of this and they understand the needs of the customer and can deliver to the customer the way we want to deliver and be ahead of the market, that's all we look for.
Some award winners expressed joy at the decision to recognize their efforts. The overall retailer of the year, Theophilus Abuaji of the Highway Station in Takoradi in the Western region, will benefit from a trip to Japan as part of his award.
Let's move on now. SEM Power Generation has commenced work on a 2.6-kilometer tunnel boring machine at the Tema Power Enclave to draw seawater to cool down its turbines. A 350 megawatts power plant currently under construction is one of the several independent power generation units to augment the country's power deficit.
The deployment of the tunnel boring machine will be used to construct the sea intake and seawater outfall technology the EPC contractor is using to cool the gas turbines. The essence of deploying the technology is to avoid the opening of deep trenches and also avoid environmental hazards associated with such constructions. Avoid the opening of deep trenches and also avoid environmental hazards associated with such constructions. Construction which started in January this year is estimated at 40%.
A project which also was to construct on behalf of the Ghana government and GRICO a collector substation. His Excellency, you have the honor to look at that. And I'm looking at 15 months ago when you came here, 45, we said we would complete the project in 33 months. So 45% of the time is gone.
Ground excavations has been completed, and with refilling ongoing and installation of the first gas turbine, generator and other auxiliaries, the Vice President, who earlier broke grounds for the commencement of the work, visited the site again to inspect ongoing works and commission the turbine boring machine. The Vice President was impressed at the progress of work and assured the challenges with the energy sector will be fully addressed when all the IPPs come on stream.
The revolutionary techniques that we've been introduced to, we have seen this the tunnel boring technique. I hope that people are also learning, and it is introducing new technology and will transfer, hopefully, will transfer technology to the people who work in it, and so we'll be able to utilize that technology in the development of pipe laying for the water system and for electricity and so on.
Well, that's it for business.